Hello everyone. So today I'm going to introduce you a new algorithm related, highly connected to the random number generated. So such kind of algorithm will be very useful for the TOEIC application. And here, so the idea is to generate the random sequence such that that particular sequence will not have repeated numbers. So what is that? Assume that we do have original sequence 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So altogether there are 7 elements in that particular sequence starting from 0 until correspondingly 6. Okay, so now I want to have a sequence, a randomly generated sequence, and element 0 should appear in that sequence only once. Element 1 will appear only once. So all elements from our original sequence will appear in our random sequence only once. So here we can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of those elements, so they are completely mixed up, but all of those numbers, so they are presented only once in that sequence. See, if I will just randomly generate that array, like let's say from 0 to 6, so probability that some index, some number will appear here more than once is pretty high. So, but in that algorithm, it doesn't really matter how many times I will generate that particular random sequence. That sequence will be always unique and will not have repeated indexes. So all numbers will be presented only once in that particular sequence. So and today we are going to discuss how to create such kind of random sequence algorithm. And here there is an application which is processing that kind of calculation. So the first of all, so here there is that particular file. So the simple presentation where that certain algorithm is presented. So what we will have to do exactly here is to process something that's called the permutation. Actually, right here in the application, you can see that the word permute. So permute means keep all of those elements and change the location. So this is the permutation. So and today we are going to design the permutation method, permutation function. So and finally that will give us that particular numbers. Okay, so what to do and how to proceed. So this is the explanation of the algorithm, what we are going to design today. So first of all, we will have to set up how many elements do I need to permute. So as default, we do have 7 elements, but that number you can change. And finally, our permutation method will give us less or bigger number of elements. Okay, so but as default, 7. Okay, so original sequence 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, clear. So now, how can we handle that particular permutation? So there are few points what we will have to add into our application. First, this is the index. So we will call it current location or index, END. So those current location is 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. So and here where is the process? So for each step, I supposed to generate random number r in the range from 0 until index minus 1. Okay, so what does it mean? See, here is our number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I want to permute the last number 6. So, but what number among those, like even the set from 0 to 5, do I need to pick in order to process that permutation? So that's why we need that particular index or number R. So that will link us to the some elements from that particular string. So, but now we are talking only about the element in the position 6. So that index here link us into the elements what I want to permute. Okay, so and once that this R is fixed, so we can process permutation, and the permutation will be nothing else as the swapping in between number in the position R and the number in the position index from our sequence. Okay, now how does it work? Let's say we do have step 1, our index 6, so I am handling that number 6 in my sequence. Okay, so randomly generate R, and that R became 3. So 3 is that number, and we also have the number 6 right here. So, and what will happen, see, this 6 and this 3, now they swap. So the 3 is already permuted number, and I can skip it. So the 3 I already handle. So now the sequence what we have to handle is 0, 1, 2, 6, 4, 5, 3. So that will be our output 0, 1, 2, 6, 4, 5, 3. Okay, so now we can go to the next step as long as the 3 is already processed number. Okay, step 2. For the step 2, I supposed to change my index. Why? Because I already like get this number to be processed. So now I want to process this number 5. So and that number 5 can be also permuted in our sequence. But for the number 5, I will have a client, like a choice, in between 0, 1, 2, 6, 4. One among that 5 numbers, I will swap with the number 5. Okay, so now how does it work? Again, I will need to generate R in the index, like in the range from 0 until like index minus 1. So our index now is 5, 5 minus 1, 4. From 0 to 4, and assume that my R is 2. 0, 1, 2, this is the position 2, like here, 2 and 5. So, and after, so the next what I need to do is to swap numbers in the position 2 and the position 5. So my 5 will move into the index with the, in the location with the position 2, and my 2 will go into the like position index, which is 5. Okay, so done. So now that particular sequence, that will be the initial to our sequence in the step 3. So in the step 3, so our index will become 4. So and I will have to generate R in the range from 0 to 3. So this is my, like this is my number. What I want to swap? 0, 1, 5, 6, that is the numbers what I want to swap. Okay, so now my R is 0. So and what is happening here? I am going to swap 4 and 0. So 4 is coming into the first position again. Why? Because my R is 0. And 0, so will be moved into the position 4, location 4. Okay, done. So this permutation fixed. So the next what we are going to do is to process a permutation for the index 3. So index 3, this is our 6. See, the point here is that 6 we already permute. So that's why like we will implement the permutation twice, which is even better. So our sequence will be definitely permuted. Okay, so now we are handling that index, like the number in the position 3, which is our number 6. And now I have a choice in between 4, 1, and 5. So 4, 1, 5. So we will generate the number r, and the r became 2. So range will be 0 to 2 because index is 3. Okay, done, and we got r equal 2. So this is the number 5. So 5 and 6. So 5 and 6 here I will swap. So again, like 5 is going into the position 6, 6 is going into the position 5, swapping. Okay, done. So now we are coming to the index 2. So the index 2 is our that number 6. So that number 6. Okay, and now we will swap that particular number with the number in the position 0 or in the position 1. So the range is now, the choice is only two numbers. Okay, so our r is 1, so that's why I'm going to swap 1 and 6. So the 6 is coming here, 1 is coming here. So, and like 6 move into the position 1. Our number 1 now is moving into the position 2. So the permutation finished. So that set of numbers now is our permuted set of numbers. Okay, so here also important part is how to permute our number back. So sometimes that is very important. And here, where is the sequence, reverse sequence? So, which we can again get from our permuted sequence. So for example, see that 4 is here in the first position. Where is 0 in the permuted sequence? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in order to get the first number in our reverse sequence, so I supposed to get the number from the position 0. So the second number like is located in the position 2. 0, 1, 2. See, 1 is located into the position 2. Okay, so the next one will be the number in the position 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 2. So, and actually, if I will implement the reverse sequence, so we will get our original sequence back. So the later we will discuss the few different tasks where our like permutation sequence, permuted sequence will be in use, and the reverse sequence will be also in use. So that's what we are going to do for today application, for the today talk. So let's begin. So from what we need to start is to make our new application. So make the new project. So let's call that project as random sequence. As long as I am making video, I will call it random sequence video. So I need to change random sequence. So in the first wall, so we will need to start from So making the design, making a design of this particular application. Okay, so coming to the design part. So the first, let's create necessary components. Actually here we are using the text view. I will just place them here. Okay, so here I am going to keep original sequence. So, and will be no text. So, and let's make the content a little bit bigger. So here they occupied quite a lot of space. Let's say 100 dp. 200. 200. I think that should be enough. Okay, and let's change the font. 24. So the later we can change if it is like not fit. So this is our original sequence. So just Control C, Control V, clear constraint. So here, this is not original sequence. This is our permuted sequence. So 16, so 8. Okay. Yeah. So let's place one text view here. So that will be our length. Okay, and we need one plain text here. Okay, so let's make it smaller. TTP. So here as default there is the number 7, and let's place it here. So let's say 8. So, and this one, let's move 24. Okay, so now we need 2 buttons. Don't forget to connect your buttons. 16, 8. Here. Generate original sequence. Generate original sequence. Okay, and one more button. Four, 8. Okay, and that button is permute. Okay, let's add on-click property. Click original. So and here click permute. Click permute. Okay, and here we need a lock where I'm going to display our current data, current numbers. So this is the lock. So text view, connected here. So let's call it lock 16 8 lock. Okay, and as long as I am going to display here quite many data, let's make it big. Okay, done. So this is our design, original sequence, permuted sequence. Okay, that one. Let's call length box. Length box. Lock. Okay, click original. Click permute. Okay, done. Now let's try to see. Does it work or not? Okay, so our application is working. Create original sequence. Okay, so this part is done. So the next what we are going to do is technically code our application. So I do have 3 text view component. Okay, so that's why like text view. So original sequence. Let's make it capital. Original sequence. Permuted sequence. Sequence and lock. Next, I do have one text box. So edit text, and this is the length box. Okay, done. So here in the onCreate class, like onCreate function, let's add our original sequence text view. Find the view by ID, R, ID, and here this is the original sequence. Okay, and I need 3 of them. So here will be permuted sequence, permuted sequence, and lock. Lock. Okay, done. So lock. Okay, no, stop. Length box. Length box. Length box. So I also need 2 functions. Public void click original view. Okay, and public void click permute view. Okay, so done. So now we can execute our application, and we do have the all necessary components to start the like entire coding. See, the first what is happening when we will open our application. Let's do it. Technically the same, so we click the generate the original sequence, and that particular numbers appear here. Okay, so that is the click original, this one. So the first what I need to do is to call that particular length. As long as we will definitely use that length here, we will click permute. So let's make that value global. Length. Let's call it sequence. Sequence length. So, and the first what we will need to do is to get the sequence length from our length box. So this is the integer. So that's called the class integer. Pairs integer, and here will be the length box. Get text to string. So we got sequence length. So that will be our number 7. Okay, so now I can generate our original sequence, that numbers. Okay, so how can I do that? For integer I from 0 until I sequence length I plus plus. Okay, so now I need to generate all of those numbers. So that will be very easy to generate. So see here, later I will need to click the button permute, and I supposed to permute that particular numbers. So definitely we will need to use array where I supposed to place that particular numbers. So see, in the beginning I will need to handle that array when I click the button, like click original. After that I will need to do the same by clicking, or do similar job by clicking the button permute. So see, the array must exist in both of my functions. And we discussed that situation before. In order to do that, our array or any kind of variables must be global. So they must be in the header of our application. Okay, so that's why here I'm supposed to place my array. Like integer, let's call it as array. New integer what? See, here I'm supposed to place some number. So the easiest way, as long as we are not going to create anything complex, so the later we can change that particular part. So, but what I will recommend you to do now, just to create an array which has 100 element inside. So here can be any number, for example 10. But if that length here will become bigger, so we cannot use length bigger than the number what we inserted here. See, technically I can move this part here. So, and instead of this 10, I can write sequence length. But that array will not be visible here in the function permute. Okay, so that's why, so my array must be in the header, and here I don't know what is my sequence length. So, and here I will just use 100. So among that 100, I will use only the 7 element. That's not really efficient from the coding point of view, but up to this moment, that will be the easiest solution. So the later we can update that part and create something that's called a dynamic array, where the numbers, that particular numbers inside can be dynamically changed. And this is a little bit, like from the coding point of view, this is always better to use such kind of the dynamic rearranging. So because we occupy some memory here, but we will never use it, which is like bad from the coding point of view. Okay, anyway, so today we will keep using that way. So the later we can change. Now, how can I create it? Very easily. See my array now. So the elements inside of my array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is just my I, what I am calling here. Done. So what I need to do now is to display that particular elements. So for that, I will recommend you to use the function like create string from array, what we used before. So in our previous application. So, and we can just place it here. So let's do it. So what do I need to do is to open the project, what we already tried, binary sorting for video. This is our previous case. Okay, so in here, so we do have that function, make string from array. So where is the integer array? So, and we are creating the string from array. So we already built that function. See, we don't really need to do it again. So I can just copy it from here, place it here. So in our function here, there is one drawback. So what we are going to fix it, because the length was not produced, like was not used. So the array length was our global variable. So, but if I will add one input parameter here as the integer length, so here place length here, so the problem solved. So now I can use that particular like make string from array in order to display our array. Okay, so this widget, so where we are going to display our numbers is the widget original sequence. So this one, original sequence. So, and here I am going to use that original sequence dot set text. Okay, see, if I use the set text command dot set text. See, here I'm supposed to place text, char sequence text. This is the string. And make string from array, this is also the string. So that function will return the string. So that's why here I can use that function as the input. So make string from array. So the first must be our array s. Second parameter must be the length. So in our case, this is the sequence length. And that's all. So now if I will run my application, click generate original sequence, and now here I can see my numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our original sequence. Okay, done. So the next what we will need to do is to code the button permute and come back to that particular coding explanation. First of all, we will not create any specific permutation function, so that will be our next target, because will be the few extra issues to discuss, mostly related to that reverse sequence. So today, let's just create that method which can produce our permutation, like, and give us finally the permuted sequence back. Okay, so see here, there are 5 steps, like if we do have length 7, so indexes starting from 6, so technically this is our length minus 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. For each of them, we will process those 2 steps. So what does it mean? So we need a loop. Okay, so here 4, so integer, let's call it like step, not step, not step, not step, better to call it index. Index, yeah, let's call it index. So see, the index must start from 6. So how can I make it? Okay, sequence length is our global variable, so we can like call it here sequence length -1. Okay, see here until what, 2. So the index bigger than 1. So see, we start from the big number, now going to the small number. So that's why my index must be processed with the double minus. So it means that every time my index will reduce. So the index will start from 6, after that 5, 4, 3, 2. This is the way how does the index change. Okay, so inside here will be our like way to process our permutation. See, I need like to generate random number R. So if I need to generate something random, so the first of all I need that particular number. Okay, so that's why let's make the integer R. So we will occupy that particular variable in the computer memory and we will use it later. Okay, now I need random numbers. So in order to get the random numbers, so here I will need to create them. So the final random, my random, new random. So this is my random numbers. Okay, so here I'm supposed to generate R randomly. So my random dot next integer with the bound, and see here I'm supposed to place from 0 to 5, 0 to 4, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. See here index is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So that number is always less than index by 1. So instead of 5, I can write this one, index -1. Okay, so here will be the index -1. Now I need to swap, isn't it? I need to process swapping. So for the swapping, we need buffer. So that's why let's make one more variable buffer. Okay. So in the buffer, so we will place what? Okay, now see. Assume that, so here, so index equal 6. Okay, I generate random R equal 3. So I will need to swap 3 and 6. So I need to place in the buffer one of those two numbers. Oh, let's place in the buffer number in the S in the position index. Okay, so here I can write like my buffer. So will became S in the position index. So index is 6. This is my number 6. Okay, so now we need to swap. So that 6 must come here. Oh, like let's move 3 here. So that's why like S in the position index will be equal S in the position R. Okay, so actually after that my sequence will become this. See, S in the position index equal S in the position R. So here will be 3. So there are 2, 3. So, and in the last step, S in the position R will be equal buffer. So, and after that, my S will became, so here 6, like this. So we process swapping. So now our S is updated. Okay, so now let's display that particular data here in the log. Okay, so let me do this. So if I click generate, permute, so now this part is important. See, I want to display index and my R. So that information I want to display in the screen. So this is our log. So that's why let's call our log set text. Let's make it like a log. And so in here, let's display our data log set text log get text plus, so here new line. Okay, new line was already here, we can skip new line. So the index equal plus index plus, so here comma R equal and plus R. Yeah, definitely the numbers will not be the same as we do have here in that particular explanation. Yeah, but at least we can display them. Okay, and let's go to the new line. So now let's display only the indexes, like indexes and the corresponding R. So where we are going to like replace our elements. Okay, so generate sequence, permute. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This is our indexes. R 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay, so if we will click the permute, so that's always generate our R. So in the random order. So even if the R is equal, like the same number, it doesn't really matter because the permutation will still be possible. Okay, and what do I need to do more here is to display our like sequence. But maybe better to add a step. Let's add step. Step. Okay, so in case of step here will be a little problem, but we can solve that problem easily by step 1. So I just want to display that step. It doesn't make any sense in my application. So in here, I will just increment that particular step. Okay, so here we'll be like, let's run. So I want to see the steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be the same as it is displayed here. Okay, and now let's display the sequence. So I want to display my S. I want to see what is happening in my S. I want to see that particular array after the permutation. So what I will do, okay, again call log get set text log get text plus. Okay, so we already moved to a new line. So here I can like add s equal bracket plus. Okay, and see, we already tried this one, original sequence, set text, and using the function make string from array. I can do the same here. Make string from array. Again, remember, this is the string. So this is the string created from the array, what we will place inside. This is S sequence length. Okay, so at the end, plus okay, bracket and slash n, go to the new line. Okay, now let's check. Sequence permute. Okay, S. Maybe better to add double n and move it a little bit. Okay. So 6, 1. So 6 and 1 will be replaced. 5, 0. So 0 here, 5 here. 4, 2. So 2, 2, this is 4, and 2, 4, 2 is changed. So, so technically, that's all. That's how can we handle our code. Okay, so this part is done. So technically we finished because this last one, this is our permuted sequence. So what do we need to do is to display that permuted sequence here in our widget. So that widget is the permuted sequence set text, and again here I can just use the function make string from array as sequence length. So and that will display the data here in the second line. Permute, and now we can see that particular sequence. So if I click the permute many times, so here we can generate many different permuted sequences. So again, here if I will modify length, so we can do it as well. Say 10. Oh, okay, so here we can see the problem. See, if that number is bigger than, so because we fixed the length of our widget text view, so that's why it cannot be big, same big as 10. So if we will modify our source a little bit, so we can generate any different sequences. And one more things what I want to do here is to change the name of our application. random sequence. Let's call it random sequence. Okay, so that's all for today. So we discussed quite interesting topic, which is generating the random sequences. So where the all symbols, the all data what we are going to create randomly will not be repeated. So that's called the permutation. So we do have some array. So the data we can go for a different, like that can be even characters, that can be the sentences, characters, words, different phrase, it doesn't really matter what. So everything what can be included into the array, we can permute. So that permutation has the very important meaning in the general computer science, computer programming, computer engineering. So that's what we will have to discuss next time. That's all for today. Good luck.